Hello guys, welcome to our video lesson. So in this lesson, we're going to discuss your learning task 1, learning task 2, and learning task 3A in your module 5.4a. So bibigyan ko kayo ng guide on how to answer this learning task para hindi kayo mahihirapan sa pagsagot ng inyong mga task. So, let us start with the learning task 1. So, group the given equations into 2 based on the observed common properties. So, in this learning task, what you are going to do is just observe the equation and identify what is the common properties of each equation. So, let's say for example, we have here m squared plus 2m plus 5 equals 0, 30v squared minus 16 equals 0, 9r squared minus 25 equals 0. Now, try to observe what are the common properties sa mga equations na aking nabanggit. Okay, so very good. So, the exponent of the variable is 2, or the highest exponent of the variable appearing to the variable is 2. So, let's say, we have group A and group B. So, yung mga unang equation na nabanggit natin, i-group natin as group A. So, we have here m squared plus 2m plus 5, then 30v squared minus 16 equals 0, then 9r squared minus 25 equals to 0. So, again, kung ma-observe po natin, the common properties of these equations is that the highest exponent appearing to their variable is 2, or it has a degree of 2 na exponent. Okay, so ang natirang equation naman, i-group natin sa B. So we have here 10 minus 7h equals 18, then 2s plus 3t equals negative 7, then we have also 8k minus 3 equals 12. So, ano naman ang common sa properties ng ating group B? So, if we're going to notice class, the common properties is that the highest exponent appearing to the variable in the equation in group B is 1. Okay, so if that's so, tatawagin natin si group B as linear equation. Then, si group A naman, tatawagin natin as quadratic equation. Now, what is quadratic equation, class? It is already discussed sa separate video po natin. So, babalikan lang natin for ng kaunti. So, a quadratic equation in one variable is mathematical sentence of degree 2 that can be written in standard form ax squared plus bx plus c equals 0, where a, b, and c are real numbers, a is greater than 0, and a is not equal to 0. So, as I mentioned sa separate video natin, we're going to always remember the standard form kapag nagdi-deal tayo ng quadratic equation. So, ax squared plus bx plus c, and si ax squared is the quadratic term, si bx is a linear term, and c is the constant term, where we're also considered always that a is greater than 0. So, ibig sabihin si a is not negative, and this will not also equal to 0, kasi pag naging 0 ito ulit, magiging linear na ang equation natin, hindi na siya magiging quadratic equation. Now, let us proceed for your learning task 2. Your learning task 2A is complete the table below. So, from here, meron tayong given different equation, then isusulat natin ang different equation na to into standard form, then i-identify natin yung values of A, B, and C. But to start, kailangan nating alalahanin, or we need to remember always what is the standard form of the quadratic equation. Paano siya sinusulat? So, it is written again in ax squared plus bx plus c equals to 0. So, tandaan ulit, a is greater than 0 and a is not equal to 0. So, ibig sabihin, si a ay dapat hindi 0 at si a dapat ay hindi negative. At sa pagsulat, dapat si quadratic term ang nauna, sumunod si linear term at susundan ni constant and always equate to 0. Now, let's have this number 1. 3x minus 2x squared equals 7. So, kung mapapansin natin, si 2x squared, which is the quadratic term, ay nasa gitna. So, kailangan ilalagay natin sa unahan. At si 7 ay nasa other side of the equation. So, ita-transpose lang natin doon sa other side. So, meron na tayo ngayon, negative 2x squared plus 3x minus 7. So, nag-change ang sign ni 7 kasi na-transpose natin sa kabila. Okay, still negative ang ating quadratic term. Sabi kanina, a is greater than 0. So, dapat hindi ito negative. So, anong gagawin natin para maging standard form ito? So, i-multiply lang natin both side by negative 1. So, kapag na-multiply na natin sa negative 1, makukuha na natin ang standard form, which is 2x squared, negative 1 times negative 2, positive 2x squared, negative times positive 3, negative 3x, then negative times negative is positive, then 7. So, meron na tayong standard form. Then, gagawin natin is identify the values of A, B, and C. So, in identifying the values of A, ang A makikita natin sa quadratic term, that is a numerical coefficient of a variable na may exponent na 2. So, in this case, our A is 2, our B is negative 3, and our C is 7. So, that is for our number 1. For number 2, we have also 5 minus 2x squared equals 6x. So, again, ang ating quadratic term ay nasa gitna at ang ating linear term ay nasa kabilang side. So, i-arrange lang natin. Ilalagay natin ang quadratic term sa unahan. So, negative 2x. Si linear term natin, ililipat natin into the other side of the equation. So, naging negative 6x plus 5. Sir, bakit po hindi na-change ang sign ni 5, ni constant natin? Kasi hindi naman natin siya nilipat into the other side of the equation. Dito lang din naman siya pa rin sa side na ito. And that is always equal to 0. So again, to eliminate the negative values of A, so multiply natin sa negative 1 both side. So magiging 2x squared. The negative 1 times negative 2x squared is 2x squared. Negative times negative 6x is positive 6x. The negative times negative positive 5 is negative 5. So, we have here 0 times negative 1 is still 0. So, meron na tayong values of A, 2. Ang values of B natin is 6. And ang values of C natin is negative 5. Okay, now, so, proceed tayo sa number 3. Sa number 3, siya ay in factored form. So, sa factored form, gagamitin lang natin si FOIL method. So, multiply natin each term. So, first, x times x squared, first term to first term. Then, first term to second term, x times 4, 4x. Then, here, second term to first term, 3 times x, 3x, then last term to last term. So, we have 12 equals 0. So, as we observe, meron tayong common here, common term, 4x at 3x. So, i-add lang po natin, combine lang natin. So, we have now standard form na x squared plus 7x plus 12 equals 0. Then, we have also our values of A. Okay. 1. Sir, bakit po 1? Okay. We always need to remember na it is understood na kapag walang numerical coefficient ang ating term, meron siyang understood na values of 1. Okay. May invisible siya na 1 dyan. The next, our B is 7. Then our C is 12. Okay. Next. Our number 4. So, in number 4, naka-factored form pa rin siya. So, i-multiply pa rin natin each term. So, 3x times x is 3x squared. 3x times negative 2. that is negative 6x equals to 9. So, let us observe, yung 9 natin is sa kabilang equation. Ito yung constant natin. Ang constant natin ay nasa right side or nasa dito sa left side. Then, ita-transpose lang natin ito sa kabila. So, magiging 3x squared minus 6x minus 9 equals 0. So, therefore, that is our standard form. And values of A is 3. Values of B is negative 6. And values of C natin is negative 9. Okay, next. Sa number 5, ganun din ang gagawin natin. This is in factored form. To gamitan pa rin natin ng FOIL method. So, we have here x times x, x squared, x times 1, x, 2 times x, 2x, 2 times 1, 2, equals 6. Okay, so yung 6 natin nasa kabilang, dito na sa kabilang side ng equation. To transpose lang natin sa kabila or apply the property, addition property of equality. Then, combine din natin itong common terms. So, meron tayong equation na x squared plus x plus 2x plus 2 minus 6 equals 0. So, combine lang natin ang common term. So, meron na tayong equation na x squared. 3x kasi x plus 2x minus 4 kasi 2 minus 6 is minus 4 or negative 4. So, equal to 0. So, we have now values of A, 1. Again, may invisible 1 dyan. Values of B, 3. And values of C is negative 4. Okay. So, this is for our learning task 2. I hope that this will be served as your guide when you are answering your module or the task na pinapagawa sa inyo na nakalagay sa inyong WHLP. Next, learning task 3. So, ito yung learning task 3A ninyo. Okay, ito yung for day 1 na sasagutan ninyo. So, day 1 din siya, kabilang sa day 1. So, solve for the variable of the following quadratic terms by extracting square roots. So, by extracting square root. So, remember natin, in solving quadratic equation, by extracting the square root, kailangan ang form naman ng ating equation is dapat x squared equals c. Okay, so dapat ganito ang tandaan natin always, x squared plus c. So, kapag ang equation natin ay hindi nakaganitong form, so we need to manipulate the equation, gawin natin ganitong form, x squared equals to c. And in this topic also, kailangan natin familiar ang perfect square numbers. Okay, so sagutan natin yung number 1. So, since the x squared equals to c na po siya, so, ang gagawin na lang natin is just extract the square root both side. So, square root of, lalagyan lang natin ng square root both side. Square root of x squared is equal to positive negative square root of 121. So, makakancel ang square root dito na side. So, magiging x na lang equals positive negative 11. Ibig sabihin, dalawa yung value ng x natin. Okay. So, 121 is a perfect square. So, square root niya is 11. Next, number 2, 4y squared equals to 49. So, merong numerical coefficient na 4 yung y natin dito. So, dito wala. So, kailangan gawin nating 1 ang numerical coefficient ng 4 natin. Okay, ng y natin rather. So, para gawin yan, i-multiply lang natin sa kanyang reciprocal. Okay, or gagamit tayo ng MPE, multiplication property of equality. So, para maging 1 yan, i-multiply natin sa kanyang reciprocal. Itong, anong reciprocal ng 4? So, 1/4. So, multiply natin sa 1/4. So, magiging both side po yan. So, magiging y squared equals 49 over 4. Kasi 1 times 4, 4 divided by 4 magiging 1. Then 49 times 1 is 49 divided by 4. So we have now extract the square root. So we have now y is equal square root of y squared is equal to square root of 49 over square 4. Then we have now y is equal to positive negative 7 over 2. Paano po naging 7 over 2? Square root of 49 is 7. Square root of 4 is 2. So number 3, 5x minus 2 square equals 0. So nakaganitong form na po siya. So madali lang. Extract lang natin. So makancel na yung square root. So ang matira na lang is 5x minus 2 equals 0. So para makuha natin yung values ng x, i-transpose natin po ang constant. So magiging 5x equals to 2. Then para makuha si x, i-multiply lang natin by 1/5 sa reciprocal ng 5. So, meron na tayong 5x is equal to 2. Ito yung kanina. Transpose natin. Then, multiply natin sa 1 over 5. Both sides. So, we have x is equal to 2 over 5. Positive and negative. Dalawa po yung ating values of x dito. Okay. The number 4. Nakaganitong form na rin siya. X squared equals to c. So, x minus 5 squared. So, ang una natin gagawin is extract lang natin ang square root. So, matatanggal na yung squared at saka square root. So, magiging x minus 1 equals positive negative 5 na lang. So, perfect square po ito. Ang square root 25 or square root of 25 is 5. Then, transpose lang natin itong negative 1 sa kabila. So, magiging positive 1. X is equal to positive negative. Ibig sabihin po, meron tayong positive 5, meron tayong negative 5. So we have here if x is if the 5 is positive, so we have 5 plus 1 equals to 6, and if x is negative, if 5 is negative, then we have x is equal to negative 4. So dalawa po yung value ng x natin, 6 at saka negative 4. In these equations naman, 2 times x minus number 5, 2 times x minus 4 equals to squared minus 128. So, gagawin lang muna natin in this equation. Transpose natin ang 128 sa other side. Okay, so transpose natin. Then, maging ganyan. Then, eliminate natin itong si 2. Gawin natin 1 lang dyan. Para magiging ganitong form, x squared. So, multiply natin sa 1/2 sa kanyang reciprocal both side. So, magiging ganito na lang. X minus 4. Kasi mawawala na to. 1/2 times 2, magiging 1 na lang. Then, 128 times 1/2 is 228 over 2. Then, extract natin yung square root. Or, divide muna natin, 64, and extract the square root. So, makuha na natin yung ito. Makancel na yung squared. Ang matira na lang x minus 4 equals perfect square ang 64. Kaya square root of 64 positive or negative 8. Okay, so transpose natin sa kabila si 4. So meron tayong x is equals to positive 8 or negative 8 plus 4. So if that is positive 8, ang x natin is 12. Then if that is negative 8, then ang x natin is negative 4. Okay, so I hope that this will guide you on how you are going to answer your learning tasks sa ating week 1. Okay, so good luck. I hope na makapagpasa po tayo ng ating learning tasks sa week 1. Okay, this is just only a part 1. Okay, then abangan po natin ang part 2 ng guide kung papaano sagutan ang ating mga learning tasks sa ating module. Okay, so paalam. Thank you.